All right, we're here for our CIT 261 first group meeting. My name is Jordan Bishop. I'm a senior and taking this class as part of my web development major. Looking forward to learning what we can about app development, and that's me in a nutshell.
I'm Trevor Albertson. I am also a senior, and I'm a computer information technology major. And I'm also taking this class because it's required. And I'm also excited to be taking this course. I took a similar one. I think it was, I can't remember what it was called. It follows the same structure, so hopefully I'll be able to be of some assistance. So we'll see.
Hi, I'm Brad Bastian. I'm also a senior in my web development major. Let's see. I am actually taking some classes online, really just to hone my skills. I have a computer science degree from ASU that I got about 8 years ago, and I've kind of been lacking in the programming world lately, and so I wanted to just kind of get refreshed in all the new technologies. So that's why I'm taking this class, but it was totally different than what I thought it was. I thought it was going to be iOS, Android apps, but that was clearly stated it's not, but I'm excited for the layout, and I think it'll be a good class, so I'm excited for it. That's it.
Okay, perfect. Nice to meet both of you. Our first item on the agenda will be to discuss which agile methodology we'll be using for the duration of the semester to work. What methodologies are you guys familiar with?
So I read a few today, and there's several I like. There was the adaptive software development that seemed pretty easy and straightforward. I'm just looking at them here in Wikipedia. And then as I went through some more of them, like the Agile Unified Process, it kind of gets a little more complicated. But the one I think I like the best, I think for us, and you guys can totally disagree with me, but it seemed pretty straightforward, was the feature-driven development methodology. And I'll just explain it here for a second. From what I read, the guidelines for it is you develop an overall model, so kind of a high-level design of what you're going to do. You build a feature list. You plan out each one of your individual features, kind of like code blocks. Or story cards, if you're familiar with that. Then you design them. Let's see. Where was? Sorry, I was looking for something that I had read earlier. But I'm totally missing it. I think this was the one that it made it seem like you had to time boxes, so you had to have a deadline, which obviously we do for this class, and you had to have iterations, which I think works perfect because we're on week iterations or 2-week iterations, whatever you want to do. And we're going to have features, so we're eventually going to build an application, and we'll have features that we're learning over the next 10 weeks that'll be part of it. And so it made sense, but I'm open to really any of them. So if you guys have any other thoughts.
So personally, not super familiar with methodologies through Agile, but talking about the methodology that you bring up, Brad, that I think is very logical and time-driven way to handle this course. It's not a work project, it's a school project, and we do have a semester deadline, so I do like that. Trevor, what are your thoughts? Do you have any other opinions on other methodologies?
Um, well, I was also thinking that I liked how applicable it was to the class. I mean, I'm kind of familiar with Scrum, but um, in one of the classes that I took, we said we would use that methodology, but then we didn't really use it throughout the semester. So I didn't actually get to experience using Scrum. So if we use the one that Brad mentioned, I'd be totally okay with that because I'm personally not familiar with agile methodologies either.
Well, given what Brad has explained and your experience with Scrum, I think it would be hard to deviate from a feature-driven methodology just because that would be our goal within each iteration of development. So, I mean, that I'd be fine with going with that one. I trust your experience. I believe you have been in the web development world longer than both Trevor or I have, Brad. So that's my opinion on that.
So do you guys work in IT right now? Do you have any
No.
experience? Okay.
I don't either.
Okay, sweet. So this will be good for all of us. I have a lot to improve on. I've actually been working in IT at Progressive Insurance for 7 years now. So I have some background into agile methodology. Just in general, I didn't know about all these different methodologies, which was new to me. But in general, I understand the agile principles. So hopefully that'll help us. But I'm new to this feature-driven development, but it seemed interesting. So I'll do a little more research on it, and then we can hopefully stick to it.
Okay.
That'd be great.
As far as schedule's concerned, it sounds like we need to create a schedule. I would believe a loose schedule at this point,
Mm-hmm.
as to the next 9 weeks or so, depending on how often we'd like to meet and go over the project that we'll be building.
Did you guys see the schedule for all 10 topics that we need to cover, or 13, however you want to call it?
Yeah, are you talking about the example you provided us?
Yes, right.
Yeah.
In that temporary or example schedule that he said not to use, but I think it's not a bad starting point. So do you want to Jordan, did you have an idea of kind of how you want to lay this out?
No, I don't. I'm pretty much open to anything.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm relatively new to this whole development world.
Trevor, did you have any thoughts on how you want to schedule this out with all of us?
I think one thing that would be easy is sharing a spreadsheet through Google Docs or whatever, so that way we can figure out what we want to teach. I'm not sure if each of us have to teach all the technologies, or if we, pick what we want to teach. Because it didn't look like every student in that example was teaching, but I can't remember how many students in that spreadsheet he had, because there's only 3 of us right now. So
yeah, actually, just to kind of take a side tangent real quick, about Carlos, should we let Brother James know he may not be part of our team, or?
So I've spoken with Brother James, and he says that from what he can tell, Carlos has never logged on, so
Okay.
we pretty much just assume that he's not going to be.
Because when I looked at the list of teams, there was like 3 teams that had 5 people in it, so I wasn't sure if he might reassign someone else to our team, and if that's the case, then we may need to wait till they get on to, well, I mean, we could start filling out this spreadsheet. I like your idea, Trevor, that we need to share a Google Doc and start putting us in there. and I don't think we need to teach every single topic. I actually have that spreadsheet up. Let me take a look at it real quick. So yeah, in this example, there was 5 students, and each student taught like every other week, or they would teach 2 weeks and then skip a week and weeks. And so it was pretty spread out. And Brother James said some topics will only need to be covered like twice, some maybe 3 or 4 times. So maybe what we could do in this document, what's this one called? I don't know. That what if document that has all the code topics. It says strongly agree, agree, disagree. I don't exactly know what that's for, but I thought maybe we could each fill that out based on our experience with these topics. And if we come to one of the topics that none of us have experience with, then maybe each one of us will teach that topic so we can all become proficient in it. Otherwise, if several of us are agree or strongly agree with those topics, we can maybe just teach that twice or something, cover it pretty quickly. What are your thoughts?
That's a smart way to go about it.
Yeah, I agree. And so I took CIT 360, and both of these classes are very similar, except instead of us in 360, we dealt more with Java than JavaScript and HTML5 and all that. But I mean, when you break it down, it ends up being very similar courses. So like that grade sheet you're talking about, that's how the teacher grades us. He'll say, like if or what was it saying again?
It was like strongly agree, agree, disagree, or strongly disagree.
So I don't know how he goes about grading, but if it's similar, I mean, strongly agree will be an A. I don't know the grade structure per se, but anyway, if we get an agree or strongly agree, we're pretty well set in that certain technology. So we have to like prove to the teacher that we understand that technology, writing code or whatever.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
So
but I do like your idea though, like using it as a way to figure out what we're comfortable with as far as the technologies goes. That way, if we already know it, maybe we don't have to teach it. We can focus on stuff that we don't know so that we can teach each other that way. But I don't know.
Yeah, that's a great idea, Trevor. So what I can do, if we can start kind of listing out some action items or takeaways from this meeting, I will create a Google Doc and throw this stuff in there and just rename it instead of strongly agree. That doesn't quite make sense, but maybe I'll set like categories for developing or proficient or excel in or something like that. And then we can just day or two. And then once that's done, then we can start assigning, kind of making up a schedule. Do you know, Trevor, Jordan, if we need to have this schedule done this week? Because I think on the objective, what does it say? Do an agile methodology based on your create a team schedule. Yeah, so it looks like we have to have that done this week.
Yeah, I believe we have to have it done this week. I don't believe that it needs to be all done during this recording.
Right.
I think it would actually be more advantageous as one of the takeaways over the next 2 days to carry back and forth through chat and email to develop that spreadsheet and that schedule and be able to talk to Brother James, see if we're going to get another team player or whatnot.
Yeah, that'd be great. So let me publish this out first, and I will send you a link to it, both of you. And Jordan, if you want to follow up with Brother James, see if he might assign someone else to our team. One way or another, doesn't matter, I guess, but it'll help knowing. And then, let's see. Actually, hey, Trevor, do you mind Do you have this spreadsheet, that what if spreadsheet that has all the topics on it?
Yeah, I do actually.
Do you want to publish that to Google Docs? I'll hand that action item over to you, and then for me, I will go ahead and do some more research on that development methodology, kind of get a better idea of how that works, and then I can email you out kind of some principles of it or kind of a short summary of it, so we can all be familiar with how it's going to work for our team. And then
Okay.
I'll send that out over the next couple of days if you'll publish that Google Doc, and then Jordan, if you'll follow up with Brother James,
Yeah,
that
I'll
would be great.
follow
I
up.
think that would get us started.
And do you just want me to upload the whole thing, or do you want me to just take the?
You can just copy and paste out that code topics, and then I think we're also supposed to teach that app design and creation stuff, which is like
Oh, right.
designing, defining, triggering CSS3 transitions. There's like 3 more in there, something like that. So yeah, if you want to throw all that in there and then just change the topics to like, if we're don't know anything, or we're kind of developing it, we know a little bit about it but not a lot, or if we feel pretty confident in it, or if we're really an expert in it.
Okay.
Maybe those categories, and then we can just update that over the next day, and then we'll start putting a schedule together in a spreadsheet. That'd be
Sounds
great.
good.
Okay.
Great.
And I'll also take this recording and post it on our community, our team
that'd be great.
community.
Yep. Thanks, Jordan.
Do we have
Okay.
our personal community page yet, or our team community page? I mean,
We do. Yeah.
Oh,
Jordan
okay.
said
I guess I haven't checked. Oops.
I think you've accepted the invitation, Trevor.
Oh, okay.
sweet.
That's good to know.
So awesome.
All right.
Productive
Anything else?
meeting.
Guys? Yeah, this is good.
So we'll also, over the next couple days, discuss when we want to meet again next week.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right,
Perfect. Well, thanks you guys.
Yep,
Good
have a
work.
good night.
Take care.
All right.
You
Bye.
too.